All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. The passing of Sheikh Muyideen Ajani Bello, a highly respected Islamic scholar and preacher who died at the age of 84, is still generating emotion nationwide. President Bola Tinubu has joined numerous admirers to mourn the passing of Sheikh Bello. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, he described Bello's death as a significant loss to Muslim Ummah and the country. President Tinubu praised the cleric's devotion to serving Allah and humanity, noting his exceptional knowledge of the Holy Quran and wisdom in guiding many towards peace and understanding. The President urged Nigerians to emulate the virtues of the late scholar. Okay, Mayor, let me start with you here. Our heart goes out, first of all, to the families of the revered Islamic scholar and also the followers. Our heart goes out to them. But tell me, what will he be fondly remembered for?
For his knack of speaking truth to power. That's the best I can describe him. He was a very courageous scholar who did a lot of audio tapes, criticizing government and speaking truth to power. I have a friend who lives in New York who is very crazy about the sheikh. When we visit his house in New York or when we are in his car moving around New York, we're always listening. That's what he listened to. When people listen to music of different types, he listens to sermons from Sheikh Muyideen. So through him, I was able to listen to a lot of his sermons. Because like I said, then anytime we're in New York, we're always with the guy. He's the guy that takes us around and all that. When we're in his house and all that, anytime, that's the only thing he plays. And I respect the fact that he was a very bold scholar. Very bold scholar. You know, different governments has been able to speak truth to power. And everybody seems to know him for that. Because I remember when late Barrister died. And they were doing Sikira Inde Barrister. When he died, they were doing the eight-day fidal. You know, because it's like a tradition in the Southwest for people to, for most Muslims, when they want to do eight-day fidal, they usually invite him to preach and all that and give sermons. And the one for Sikira Inde Barrister, there and then, you know, Sikira Inde Barrister had this running issues with Kollington for a long time. They were rivals and they used to send big bags to themselves. And Kollington was present naturally at that eight-day fidal. During his sermon, he looked at Kollington and said, when this man was alive, we were always abusing him. You guys were always abusing each other. Now that he's dead, I hope you have something else to sing about. Kollington was seated there when he was asking Kollington point blank. He's that kind of man. He's so blunt, very blunt. And that is one thing I respect about him, because there was a sermon I did that I heard, and my respect for him increased. And he said, look, no government can ever say that I've come to them for contract or I don't collect money from people. And that when people invite me to A-Day Fidal, I don't collect money. He said so publicly in a sermon, that when I attend Fidal prayers, I don't collect money. So it's not whatever the small thing that I have, it's okay. I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm contented with what I have. So I'm not in a position not to say the truth to anybody. And that is it's only very few people that can say that. Because you know that a lot of these sheikh too, they are more like consultants. They offer prayers and people go to them for consultation and pay heavily for them. So when you see a man that was contented, that has deep knowledge of the Quran, and was able to speak truth to power, he deserves our respect. So, all right,
BK, looking at the beautiful things that Mayor has just said, in your opinion, what do you think can be done to keep his memory alive, like immortalization?
I think that clerics have an obligation to be loyal to the people, because they are God's representatives on earth. And they have to side with the people at all times. and they have to speak the truth at all times. You see, when I was in Kano, I used to go to Sheikh Muyideen Ajani Bello's house in Sabongeri. People used to spread this claim or this notion that the Hausa man will never agree to pray behind a Yoruba cleric. With Muyideen Ajani Bello, it was not difficult for me to discover that to be a lie.
Really?
Because as the time for Jumat prayers is approaching, you start seeing Muslims, Hausa Fulani,
yes,
inside Sabongeri, many of them rushing to his mosque, Asaruddin Mosque, to go and pray. And they respected him because of his deep knowledge, you know, and because he was a teacher, he was a secondary school teacher.
Okay.
You know, we taught in Ogun State, taught in Oyo, and I think Osun State. That helped him to hone his skills as a preacher. And you know, when a natural teacher teaches you, it sinks in because they know the skills, they have the skills, yes, and they know how generally. So he was a fantastic preacher, and whether you are a Muslim, whether you are an Hausa Fulani or a Yoruba or any tribe for that matter, people enjoyed listening to him. Even Christians were buying his cassette because his message went beyond Islam.
Religion.
Because he was preaching morality extensively.
Okay.
And he would not spare the rod. If he had to abuse you so that you would learn, he would do it. And he had integrity. First and foremost, he had that integrity. No one would say, oh, Alpha Muyideen was tainted by love for money, by people coming to give him money. No. He's ready. If he has to deal decisively with you, verbally, he will do that. And he was a man of peace. But he would never compromise his principles. So he's a man that I loved. This was a picture, this picture was taken in Ibadan during the memorial, I think, symposium for the late Governor Ajimobi.
Okay.
I was a speaker at that event. So I saw him sitting there and I realized, oh, I hadn't seen this man for more than 20 years. So I went to greet him. Okay. And he was talking about journalists and God, watch you, keep up the good work, God bless you. I was so happy. And before I now went to sit on the stage. So Alpha Muyideen will be remembered for being one of the greatest clerics of his generation, for his honesty, for his forthrightness. You know, and I expect that even the clerics coming after him will imbibe what he stood for. But I know that this is a big, big shoe to fill. Yeah. The gap that he has left, because he was really legendary. Yeah. You see, you are in a bus, even in Kano, in buses. Yes. You will see his pictures on the...
Yes, exactly.
Yes. You see his pictures, and you will see drivers playing his sermons. You know? So he has shown that, look, you can live a life of contentment and still have a good name and still be comfort. I mean, people still feel that the grace of God radiates upon your life without necessarily showing contempt for the principles that you have been identified with over the years because you want to survive or because you want jobs for your kids and all that. Many clerics do that, and these politicians, it doesn't take them anything
to rub this shit. Exactly.
So Baba refused to do all of that, and until he died, his integrity was intact. His solid character was unimpeachable. Anybody will tell you that. I had so much respect for him. I still respect him. So we will miss him. The Ansaruddin mission will miss him. The entire Muslim Ummah in our country, and Christians too, who value preachers who speak the truth to power. I was even doing there was a video that I saw recently about traditional rulers who were at an event and they made him speak.
Yeah.
You see the way he spoke to them.
Yeah.
He said a lot.
Yes.
I watched it too, yeah.
Guy was saying where are the palliatives that they said they will give. Or did they give it to you people and you people cornered it? I was talking to those traditional rulers. Big traditional ruler, first-class traditional ruler.
Right in their faces.
Yes, he was sitting beside them. That's the sort of person. And if sometimes he will say, he will swear at politicians.
Really?
He's that kind of person. He will tell them that Alpha Muyideen was a fiery preacher and thoroughly respected. So we miss him. Really miss him.
Okay, but as we wind down on this topic, what are some of the qualities that you think other religious leaders can emulate from this man?
It's very simple. They should know that it is important to side with the people at all times. It is important to speak truth to power. But most importantly, it is important to be contented instead of this. Because some of these sheikh too, they've now copied these pastors who live these flamboyant lifestyles and all that. So there are some sheikh doing that now too.
Yes.
You know, even some sheikh now they roll on social media and no, they should know that Alhaji Muyideen had lived a contented life. He was not very rich. You understand? He did not betray his principles. Yes. He did not run after anybody for money. But like I said, he said it openly that look, when I do this day for that, I don't collect money. And nobody can say I've come to ask for money or anything. It takes a lot of integrity to say that. I want other sheikhs, because we have a lot of them around now to emulate.
One was even, I saw one video where one was saying that, Christian pastors, they went somewhere to a gathering and he counted a good number of private jets. He said, but not one Muslim cleric came with a private jet. He now began to swear at Muslims.
Yeah, I watched it too.
Began to swear at Muslims because he felt that, these pastors, their flock, take good care of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I understand.
All sort of things.
No, I understand. Well, I heard that lots of people came from far and wide, all over the world, just to.
Oh yeah, because it's
also widely traveled.
Exactly. Exactly.
Widely traveled. Was always invited from all over the world, UK, US, to come and preach, and within our country too was also widely traveled. So naturally, it's there to attract a host of dignitaries, and many of the people have benefited one way or another from his homilies. So,
all right, gentlemen.
God bless his soul.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation.